really what matters is every day I'm getting a little bit better. The correct action arises by itself effortlessly. And that doesn't happen without putting in a boatload of work. It's not like I'm out here just on a vacation. I think that I'm just trying to keep at it. Like, nothing's changes for me. Greg Maddox, he had a terrible first year, then he started doing really well, and then people asked him, what do you do differently? He said, absolutely nothing. He just kept at it. If I didn't feel that there was times where I could have done more, like, I wouldn't feel so bitter. And I feel bitter when I don't do well. I know that like things that I'm messing up are just things that will stop, and I ain't stopping. The saying goes, a fool who persists in his folly will become wise. So I'm persisting.
Hi, I'm Luke Samson's dad, and this is my wife, Renee. We live here in Mundelein, Illinois. We've been here about 30 years or so, and this is where we raised Luke. I love baseball. All our kids played baseball. Emily played softball. I managed all these kids in one way or another. I really enjoyed watching Luke play because I really wanted to play baseball, and I saw his ability, and I thought, you know.
Baseball was always huge. We had one of the biggest little leagues in like the whole area, and it was thriving. For some reason, just our generation had like one of the best little leagues, and it was every Saturday and Sunday the park was just completely packed. So we're pretty much here. Yeah, this is where the park starts here. This is where they take all the photos for the baseball teams. They're along this little lake right here. The biggest fence right here. If you get a home run here, you can hit the ball a little bit. I had a million different just small memories of just random little things. I remember one time we got lost for like 3 hours. The first time I remember being lost and I couldn't find my parents. And I remember being literally on that bench right there, like crying my eyes out because I couldn't find them. If you weren't playing your game, we would just be, you know, raising a little hell, you know.
We played so much baseball up until freshman year of high school. We were on a travel team. We traveled all over the place. If we weren't practicing, we were playing games, multiple games a day.
Sometimes we'd drive hours, and it'd be like on the way back, it would just be me and him in the car, and you know what he's telling me, and I don't want to hear it.
What were you thinking when you threw that pitch, you know? And he's got pride.
So that's maybe one of the reasons why I decided not to play when I got to high school.
And I was looking forward to high school baseball, and Luke told me, Dad, I'm not playing any more baseball. You know, it got to a point where, you know, after a game.
Oh, you know, we had something going there.
Keep going.
Keep on going, though.
He told me he wanted to be a pro, you know, and he was, you know, he was focused, and like he is for disc golf. Although I think disc golf is so much better and bigger and so much more potential for him to be, you know, the number one, and that's his goal, to be number one, and he's going to get there. I'm sure of it.
This song speaks to the heart of a touring disc golfer right here.
Sure that.
Who isn't Paul McBeth or Ricky Wysocki. Which way? Right? Right?
No, left.
Fuck. Right. Left.
6'7".
6'4.5", big dog.
6'4.5".
Hey man, all I'm saying is, you know, Gannon Burr probably has about 3 pounds of muscle on him in his whole body. But I'm afraid to die. Don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, and I know change gonna come.
Third up on the box for 12:50-16 time. Let's give it up for Luke Samson.
Thank you. Woo. Let's go.
Why are you out here?
Why? Why are you out here? Get in the air. It's not bad. And why whoever is listening to this is listening to this. It's because life isn't meant to be a struggle. It's meant to be something that you're thriving in. It's meant to be a banquet. This is an expression of that. Sit. All right. Yeah, it's a putt. You know, I told myself, don't let it kick to the right.
You hear of Littleberry and Paul McBeth and like, man, when are we gonna see Luke Samson? We've been to several tournaments. I mean, these guys are good, but Luke is really good too. And he's putting in the work. And that is the difference. That's why I'm 100% he's gonna do what he set his mind to.
I'm pretty healthy. I take care of myself. I don't see myself getting too injured, and I don't see myself slowing down. The biggest thing is just like the whole willingness to do it. Like I'll be willing to raise a kid in homeschooling right here till I'm winning championships, getting paid millions. I'll be willing to give up anything. That's part of the whole thing that's firing me.
I do remember that one summer, all of a sudden it was here.
Weird. We're like, okay, you're gonna live in that car, that little tiny car.
It's the smallest car they make. The smallest car Toyota makes.
It was so small. Then my friend gave him her old van, and that was sweet then, you know?
Yeah, it was a real minivan, but it needed a lot of work. Luke changed the brakes, he aligned it. Right in the driveway, he didn't know how, he learned it on YouTube and did the whole thing. Then now he's in that nice big thing.
People kind of almost look down on you if you're living in a minivan.
From Mundelein, Illinois, Luke Samson.
And in my heart, I really didn't mind.
Out of Mundelein, Illinois, Luke Samson.
Being in here for their sake kind of elevates it.
First card to the 2022 PGA World Championships. Team off first, Luke Samson.
It was a long season, and I know that there was many times where it was just like 1 or 2 strokes. The tournament would have made a huge difference. I know that those 1 or 2 strokes are 1 or 2 small decisions that happen every day when you're just barely paying attention to them, and then you just kind of skip by them. So those things are the things I need to start paying attention to more.
All right, well, the Vegas crew is gonna walk on over.
I still haven't won, you know, a A tier even. Yeah. Just look at my yearly earnings. Like, I'm not one of the top guys. Like, I'm trying to be a top guy.
Yeah, this is a PF Lounge, boys. We're at the PF Lounge. I don't know if you guys knew it. I'm not the only one here. Like, we got Conrad right here. We're gonna see the Swedes later. I can't wait for the Swedes to show up.
It's like, you know, when you know that you could be better at something, you're obviously disappointed. And like, you know, you have a vision of doing something, and then I say it doesn't happen. You've seen your potential in your vision, you know, so you're let down, but like now I'm at the point where I need to convince myself. Before I was kind of like, oh, I need to feel the stress to prove, you know, to Castleplast, to everybody else. Now I'm just like, shit, I need to prove to myself.
Luke is a deep thinker.
I kind of like the quiet, you know.
Luke likes to be alone. He does.
I like to be alone. Maybe I'll take credit for that.
I don't know.
Probably because he didn't have it, he really wanted it.
Sounds deafen the ear. Like imagine if you were in a sensory deprived, whatever those things are, like, where you float. When you come out of those, your senses are going to be extra acute. And when you spend time alone, you don't necessarily have a million thoughts in your head, which is a very valuable time, because then you could really think about stuff when you are thinking about stuff. People say to you, like, oh, you keep at it, you're going to make it, you know, or like something like that, you know. People, like, no, like, I'm here, you know, I'm here, you know, like, and I'm not living for some point in the future. You know, I'm here, and this is it. This is the moment. When you call something good, like you give it, man, I want to say it the right way. Like, it just gives things a context of relativity where you could live without that, and that's when you could live free, I feel like.
Part of me kind of wants to just go back home, to be honest, right now. I got 4 more tournaments in the Carolinas. And then I was just thinking about, well, I could just go play 1 more tournament in the Midwest and go back north for the rest of the season. But here I am. I want to say that I gave it my all. I don't want to be able to look back and say that, like, dude, I could have done more. I've always known that the wake of the ship doesn't steer the ship. I'm going to be spending the whole offseason in Tennessee, and I'm going to be by myself, and I'm going to be grinding. I still have stuff to prove.